Alright, what's up Packers fans? It's Frank Nitty here. Recapping the Packers loss to Carolina 31-24. And I'm doing this now because I won't have any time tomorrow or during the week. So, first thing I'm going to say is congratulations to Panthers fans on the win. With this loss, the Packers are now arguably out of the playoffs, making it the first time we missed the postseason in 9 years. I know they said will be officially eliminated if the Falcons beat the Bucks tomorrow. So yeah, you might as well just say we're done because the Bucks are trash. They're not beating the Falcons, all right? So we're done. Anyway, I'm just going to go ahead with a quick recap, and then I'm going to give my overall thoughts about this game. It is not going to be pretty. The game started out with one first down by the Packers, and then the drive stalls. Rodgers looked okay on that quick possession. He looked like he was getting into some type of rhythm, but then eventually the drive comes to a stall, unfortunately. Things only get bad as the defense slowly gives up yet another opening drive touchdown to an opponent. The Panthers chewed up a lot of clock on that drive. Packers would then answer and tie the game, would then sit at 7-7 until the Panthers put up a field goal. After Rodgers throws a pretty bad pass into downfield and Aaron Cobb, he gets picked off. Then after that, Rodgers goes and finds Randall Cobb, I believe. I think was the pick before that or afterwards. Either way, he finds Randall Cobb, and Randall Cobb makes a good move and takes it to the house for a touchdown. So, okay, now it's 14-10 at the half, and then the second half starts, and then it just gets even worse. The Carolina Panthers once again march down the field, opening the third quarter, and retake the lead at 17-14. Packers then turn the ball over on a couple of bad throws by Rodgers that were underthrown. Panthers eventually jump ahead at 24-14 lead, and the game was practically out of reach. Packers kick a field goal after another stalled drive. Panthers score again on the easy pitch and catch the Bird, going up 24-17. At that point, it's like, okay, this season is over after scoring again 31-17 to Bird. The Packers turn the ball over on downs. Defense gets a stop, and the offense scores to make it 34-24. So, okay, the game isn't quite over yet. There's still some time left. It's 31-24, but the Packers don't have any timeouts, so they have to go for the onside kick. That was our only hope, and the Packers go for the onside kick, and somehow we fucking recover it. I don't know how. So then the Packers take over after a couple of plays. After that, Geronimo Addison runs a good route to come open. He catches it, but then he has the ball punched out, resulting in a fumble. And with that with that fourth turnover, the Packers' comeback efforts are sealed. The Panthers win, and they go ahead now. I believe the Packers are 10-4. We drop to 7-7. So yeah, that's a really quick recap about this game. Now let's give our overall thoughts about this. First things first, Aaron Rodgers. How did he look? Rodgers definitely did not look that great in this game. You can give some credit to the Panthers defense for that, but there was just some really bad decisions and throws that Rodgers made that really fucking cost us. And obviously a lot, especially with those picks. Every pick that Rodgers threw was just underthrown. He didn't get enough air on it, and that pick that he threw to Jordy, it was just so unnecessary. Especially when he had all that daylight in front of him, he could have just ran for it instead of trying to make too much happen when he didn't really need to. Honestly, he didn't really need to. He could have just ran for that first down. The game was still close. It was only the third quarter. There was no reason to try to do too much. I totally understand the defense gave up a quick touchdown to the Panthers come opening up the third quarter, but there was no need for it. We could have just still played it safe. But of course we couldn't play it safe because of the Mike McCarthy special. And you guys heard me a couple weeks ago. I said, what the hell is the Mike McCarthy special? The Mike McCarthy special is his play calling, when his bad coaching decisions and play calling. Did you guys notice towards the end of that half, Aaron Jones had two really good run plays at the end of the half. Towards the end of the half. Before we finished that drive over the touchdown, he ran the ball very well. What happens after that? We don't get him the ball anymore. After those two good carries, we don't get the ball to Aaron Jones anymore. And Mike McCarthy quickly goes away from the run game again. In the third quarter, that pass Rodgers through that pick. If we would have just ran the fucking ball, that would have never fucking happened. Like I don't fucking get it, man. I just don't fucking get it. You got Jamal Williams and Aaron Jones who are playing pretty well, And you see how explosive Aaron Jones is when he has the ball in his hands. Why the fuck don't you give him the ball? Somebody please tell me that. What is it? What is it with Mike McCarthy and his how quickly he just gets away from the fucking run? Did anybody see that fucking the Jamal Williams run he had? He ran the ball 8 yards, right? Second down, what do? We passed the ball for the entire rest of the way on the drive. And that was the drive that we stalled and we had to kick a field goal. Even though that drive started up good with a good run play from Jamal Williams. And Mike McCarthy, in typical fashion, just completely abandons the run, tries to put the ball in Aaron Rodgers' hands too much, and you see the results. I'm not saying you can't trust Rodgers. Who wouldn't trust Rodgers, right? He's the best quarterback in the league. I'm not saying you can't trust him. But if the run game is working, why would you want to get away from it? It's fucking mind-boggling to me, man. Aaron Jones didn't run the ball at all the entire second half. Even when the game was still close. I could totally understand needing to run the ball after they jumped ahead to 2 touchdowns. But when the ball was still close and we were only down by 3 or even 10 points, still in the third quarter and still the whole fourth quarter to play, you don't want to run the ball at all? Like, fuck Mike McCarthy, man. So then we get to, and then now I want to talk about the defensive inconsistencies. All right? I'm going to give some credit to the defense because those guys were at least able to make some stops when we needed them to make a stop. Not all the time, but they were making some stops like after those turnovers. This game could have probably been worse had the Panthers scored on all those turnovers, man. But thankfully, the defense was able to get some stops and keep them from doing that. Even after we turned the ball on down, defense made a stop. She still gave us another chance. So I'm going to give them some credit there. But what I'm not going to do is give them credit as far as how fucking terrible they are and opening up the game. I don't know what is it about this defense where they just cannot stop allowing opening touchdowns. And then on top of that, you do it again in the beginning of the third quarter. God, man. Rodgers or not, you can't trust this defense, man. They're so Jekyll and Hyde, man. One minute they just look like absolute ass. And then maybe a couple of drives here and there, they'll look okay and get off the field. It's fucking ridiculous. This entire fucking season has just been so tragic. It all just quickly went downhill. As soon as Rodgers got hurt, man, and we all knew that. As soon as he got hurt, we were cruising until he got hurt, man. And then, there's a lot of people were saying, "Oh, what would happen if Brett Hundley was playing?" Brett Hundley went 3-5, taking over from Rodgers. All right, remember that. He beat teams who are 8-31 combined. If anybody honestly thinks that Brett Hundley would have played any better, go fuck yourself. Maybe, who knows? Maybe those deep balls would have been better. They would have been underthrown, but more likely they would have been overthrown. Because that's how Brett Hundley's deep ball is. But then again, Brett Hundley is so inconsistent and so terrible at fucking finding guys open. Those throws would have probably never been made. And at the very least, we probably would have tried to run the ball more. Just because Rodgers is back doesn't mean you got to get away from what was working. Fuck Mike McCarthy, man. I'm so done with this fat fuck. So there you go, man. It's been a completely horrible, tragic season. Just going after Rodgers goes down, going 3-5 after that, and he comes back, and unfortunately his efforts just wasn't enough. And then on a lot of times of him just trying to do too much led to those turnovers and turn the ball over 4 times to the Panthers. You can't do that, especially when you're on the road. So, all I can say is, man, seriously, this team really needs a fucking overhaul, man. I keep fucking saying it. I don't care how many times I gotta say it. Some changes gotta be made, man. And I hope that Devontae Adams is all right. He obviously wasn't out there after the second half because of suffering another concussion. The guy that hit him, he seemed like he was genuine and was sorry about it, so I'm not going to go on him about it. I just hope Devontae is all right. And like I said, the Bucks aren't beating the Falcons tomorrow, man. So you might as well just mark it down as another loss. This week, mark it down as a win for the Falcons, and our postseason hopes are pretty much over with now. Because at the end of the day, we were the only ones who can truly control our fates, and we had to come into Carolina and win, and we couldn't do that. So that right there is very disappointing. And like I said, a couple of Mike McCarthy specials also fucked us up. And I'm just so sick and tired of that fat fuck in his playoff and his fucking play calling. I'm tired of Dom Capers and watching his stupid ass defensive schemes. I mean, it's not like we don't have the talent. I'm gonna say this now: we got some talent in defense, man. They just need a fucking change in coaching. All right, Dom Capers has got to go. All right, I'm tired of this dude, man. I'm tired of him. I'm tired of McCarthy. I'm tired of this fucking organization. Those guys in the front office. I'm sick of every last one of them. So, all right, that's it. That's it, man. I can go on for a lot more longer. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Next week we got the Vikings, and I swear to God, I hope we win that game, man. I don't care at this point. I don't care if we win the postseason. I don't care. All I want to do now is beat the Vikings next week, man. That's all I want. I want to beat the Vikings, man. Period. I don't care that they squashed whatever team they were playing this week. I don't care. I want to beat the Vikings' ass. And just fuck up any type of playoff spot there may be hope in the battle. Because they won the division. They already won the division. But now, I want to just play spoiler. I want to fucking beat them next week. Keep them from getting a first round bye. Whatever the case may be. I don't give a fuck. Fuck the Vikings, man. God, I hope so badly we can beat them at home next week, man. I hope so badly, dog. And whatever happens after that with the Lions, I don't give a shit. This season is over. Our season is done. I'm out of here. Peace.